Hey guys, yeah, this is another interview. We are interviewing a independent wrestler. He is an icon. His name is Smiley Lucha, and he'll be here.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just trying. There you go.
There we go. First of all, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I know you're a busy guy.
Gotta love it. Wrestling, working, and being a dad.
Yeah, that has to be hard.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, how I know you started from the House of Glory.
Yep.
So how did you get involved with House of Glory at the beginning?
So that all kind of like, I think I can blame Tommy Dreamer for that one.
Okay.
I'm originally from Maine.
Okay.
I used to work at a photo studio where I was managing and all that other stuff. And one day on my lunch break, my cousin called me up and asked if I wanted to move to New York. So on a whim, I said, yeah, why not? So while I was sitting in the bus station waiting to go move to New York, I'm like, I should do something with my time while I'm out there, not just, be in New York.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking wrestling school. Let's give it a shot. I found Tommy Dreamer's website and I had emailed him and I had just asked, like, hey, I'm moving from Maine to New York. I'm thinking about looking into wrestling schools. I know you were trained by Johnny Rods, and that's one option. But I also see Amazing Red has a school, and I know you've worked with him. So I'm kind of looking to see what you think would be the best bet. So Tommy had replied back about halfway through my trip down to New York and said, Johnny's a good school, but Johnny doesn't get in the ring anymore. So he's not probably going to teach you. Probably going to be his students to teach you. He said, so take that into consideration. Red is still young. He's probably going to get in the ring with you and train you. So think about that and also consider pricing. So,
Okay.
that was kind of a no-brainer. I'd rather get in the ring with the man himself. Plus, I mean, I'm a lifelong Amazing Red fan anyways, which I have one of my younger brothers to blame for that one because he's a pro stunner. He found him on YouTube when YouTube was still super new.
Yeah.
It was like a Amazing Red versus Jimmy Wang Yang match that he found on.
Oh yeah.
Impact.
Yeah, I think I know what match you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how was it trade with Amazing Red?
It's such a roller coaster because you step into like the wrestling ring in the wrestling world, and it's like it feels like a mystic place. Like it doesn't feel like a real place. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then you have this man in front of you who you like looked up to, who you've admired his matches and stuff like that for so many years, and then now he's teaching you the basics and how to roll, how to bump, how to give suplexes, how to take suplexes, and it's like living in a movie almost. And then that movie starts to beat the crap out of you, and you realize I don't want to be in this movie no more. But you love it so much you can't leave. It's the best way I can think of it.
I think I read somewhere that you were the first House of Glory student champion.
I was the first House of Glory student to hold the World Heavyweight title, which I won it from one of my other trainers, Brian XL.
Okay.
We had a bit of a feud going on. I had initially won it from Amazing Red in a 4-way dance.
Okay.
When Brian XL was hurt, but come to find out, Brian XL was never hurt. It was all a rouge.
Okay.
He restarted the match, and when he restarted the match, he pinned me 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So technically, I never won the belt in that match.
Okay.
So that turned into a little bit of a blood feud between me and him, which is, of course, always challenging when you have to fight the guy who taught you everything you know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he knows all the tricks that I'm going to pull out because he taught them to me. So that was kind of like I think I would have to say that's probably like the birth of my innovative ways, because I had to learn to be innovative in those cases because he taught me everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
now I have to come up with my own things, my own style, my own way to throw him off his game, and it ended up working out in the end. And I was the first student to hold that world title.
So after House of Glory, what other company did you actually work for?
I mean, I've worked for so many places, and I was still working for House of Glory at the same time too, because
Okay.
One of the big things Red would push is like, don't be comfortable, don't stay in one place. You have to move around, you have to go different places. Um, in the beginning, my travel crew, if you will, it was always like me, Anthony Gangone, and Mark Quinn, and
Okay.
we traveled everywhere together. Every month we're up in Massachusetts for NEFW. Every month we're down in Pennsylvania for Excellence Pro Wrestling. We would go RPW in Connecticut. So we were always traveling around together. But that was like my crew in the beginning, my little clique. Mark Quinn, of course, going on to be AEW superstar now, which was incredible to watch.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I got to wrestle. I had a full circle moment probably 5 years ago now, give or take, and I got to wrestle Mark Quinn in AEW. I did a dark match for AEW, and
Wow.
it was me, Kyle Bradley, Channing Tatum against Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassie, who are two of my best friends, and Matt Hardy, who is of course somebody that I grew up watching, in a 3-on-3 match in Boston, which of course, being from Maine,
Yeah.
Boston's a very near and dear place to my heart. So that was really kind of cool. And then the full circle moment is right before we were about to wrestle. I look over at Mark Quinn and I go, "You understand what today is, right?" And he goes, "No, what's today?" And I go, "Today would have been 3 years since Matt Travis passed away. And the day that should be, we should be mourning that. I'm here with you in Boston, about to wrestle for one of the best companies out right now. Like, I say it all the time. I said, this is Matty's doing. Matty pulled some strings upstairs, and he got me that opportunity. So it was a very spiritual moment.
Oh man, thank you for sharing that story.
Of course.
That is cool. So let me ask you: have you been out of the country and wrestled for in different countries like Asia or Australia or?
I have. I wrestle in Canada quite a bit. I've probably been up to Canada, probably 30 plus times at this point. Like, I love going up to Canada to wrestle. And it was just 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually. I was out in Italy
Oh wow!
with Three Legacies Wrestling. Asked me to be one of the people to go out and represent them
Okay.
when we all did a trip to Italy. It was myself, Ricardo Rodriguez from WWE, who runs Three Legacies Wrestling.
Okay.
My forever enemy, Al Snook.
Okay.
That was brutal having to share a trip with him, but whatever. Naeem the Dream Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it was. Oh, and Tarzan Duran.
Okay.
And Tarzan Duran got the best gift of a lifetime because he actually got added in last minute. Like,
Oh, really?
legit, the night before we fly out to Italy, they had to call him up because somebody couldn't make the trip.
Man,
But that trip, man, that trip was incredible.
So, if you wrestled in Italy, do they have a different style of wrestling that you're used to in the United States?
I think they do. I wrestled Omar Prince, And Omar, I think, has a bit of a similar style to me. You know, we
Okay.
kind of have like them same moves in a way. We move in the same way. So for me, it was kind of like, I wrestled my way because I know the way I know,
Yeah.
and it got over very well. The crowd was super receptive of it, but I was the first match, which I loved because I got to sit down and I got to watch the rest of the show.
Cool.
Actually, after intermission, I got to watch the rest of the show with like this little 2-year-old who would not let me go. So we just kind of sat on the steps in the back and literally watched the rest of the show together, which was adorable.
That's
Um, but it is interesting to watch like how different places move. And like with Italy, they don't have, from what I understand, they don't have a huge like wrestling culture, I guess, out there.
oh really?
Because like we would bring it up like, oh, we're wrestling and so and so, and they're like, oh, we don't really have wrestling out here.
Oh
So
wow.
like they're fans, but they don't have I guess a lot of wrestling. So like I'm assuming the training's probably very scarce and stuff. But man, everybody on that show, like solid wrestlers, like worked great. We wrestled for Pro Wrestling Roma, which I believe is it's like a branch or some sort of relation to IWA out there, Italian Wrestling Association, I think it is,
Okay.
or Alliance. I can't remember. I think I gave the wrong name in a promo once. But yeah, man, like they were all great. Like watching them all work and everything like that, it was incredible. And the fans, oh my god, like they're just so happy to have wrestling in their lives. Like I say sometimes that there's more critics in wrestling than there are wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Not nearly, man. Those fans, they couldn't, if you made a mistake, they weren't ready to jump down your throat with a "you effed up" chant. They were there for
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
they were so receptive to everything we did. It was so nice. I got a smiley chant before I even hit the ring. I'm like, this is incredible.
So yeah. So I don't in the rate. It's all like communication. So was it like really hard to communicate with the other wrestlers in the ring of that
I
role?
don't think so because I think one thing I had to learn actually very early on in my wrestling career
Mm-hmm.
was kind of how to communicate without blatantly just communicating.
Yeah.
When I started with House of Glory, like the week after I did, we had another student join, Nikki Heat.
Okay.
His wrestling name was Nikki Heat. Love Nikki to death. Nikki, when he was younger, had a cold sore that got infected, and it
Mm-hmm.
affected the part of his brain that works his tongue and his left arm. So his left arm is kind of uh, I can't remember the term for it, but he can't really use his left arm. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of very much like Gregory Iron,
Mm-hmm.
but where Gregory Iron's that arm is on the right side,
Yeah.
Nikki's is on the left.
Okay.
But like I said, Nikki's tongue doesn't work,
Yeah.
so he can't talk to you. So we would have to we learned working with Nikki, like sometimes you have to use body language, or I have to watch my opponent and I have to read his body language
Oh wow.
more than I have to rely on listening to what he says.
Okay.
Um, there's another experience that I had in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Vince Steele, God rest his soul, started a company, I believe, with his brother called Shadow Wrestling,
Okay.
and they would bring a lot of guys over from Puerto Rico and stuff like that, and have them on the shows. And I wrestled the sensei one night, and he doesn't really speak any English, so like it's very tricky to communicate with somebody that doesn't speak English. So one trick that I have is I have a folder on my phone
Mm-hmm.
with basically just a lot of different things I do, because a lot of stuff I do is very unique and weird.
Okay.
Uh, Comes with like the being an innovative guy is like you don't see it every day.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like showed him like stuff I do, and he just kind of cherry picked like, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. So
Oh really?
yeah,
Wow.
that made it a little bit easier because he could just kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
pick out which ones he liked.
So let me ask you this: where did you come up with your ring name, Smiley Lucha?
So the name Smiley actually came from Amazing Red.
Okay.
Um, it came from early on in my training career. We were doing a drill, and it was you get in the ring, Red would stop you, throw you into the buckle, You eat the buckle hard, come out, he hit you with something. So it's my turn. I run in the ring, get the kick, I run to the buckle, hit it hard, and I feed out. And all of a sudden, he puts his hand up and stops me. He looks to the crowd, and in my head, I'm like, "Oh no, what did I do wrong?" He just looks at everybody, like all the other students, and goes, "It doesn't matter how hard I hit him; he won't stop smiling at me." So for a couple, I think for the first 2 days, he was calling me Happy.
Okay.
And then he said Smiley, and it just kind of like, I guess, rolled off the tongue better for him. So he kept it. Like he just, every time he throw me in the ring, Smiley, wow, cracked me in the head with something.
Wow.
So he gave me the name. When I first started wrestling, I was trying to do a whole nother character called Arrowside.
Okay.
It was like so generic, like generic ass luchador. It was terrible. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was terrible. Actually, kind of a side note is I wasn't even originally planning on being a masked wrestler.
Okay.
So the Arrowside character ideally was actually just supposed to be like something to hold me over until I really fine-tuned the
Yeah.
character I wanted to be. Because originally I wanted to be a villain. I wanted to be the bad guy. And I wanted to call myself Luin Paparazzo. And I was going to do a whole paparazzi gimmick where I would like hit my opponent with the camera or use the flash to blind him to hit my finisher. And
Okay.
it was a whole kind of crazy character, but I donned a mask, I put it on, and I just started having so much fun because there's something about like a anonymity. I hope I pronounced that right. Anonymity about wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Because if I mess up, I didn't mess up. This guy messed up. You know, like he messed up, not me. He did it. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, you get that free pass to be
Yeah.
over the top and goofy without being judged because nobody's judging you; they're judging the mask. You know,
Well,
they're judging the character.
yeah, that was the next question. Like in the beginning, did you wear a mask or not wear a mask?
I believe there's only like maybe 3 matches out in the world of me wrestling in a ring without a mask on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and one of them, the very first one I ever had, actually wasn't even because I didn't want to wear the mask. I was actually told I wasn't allowed to wear the mask
Oh,
because
really?
the guy, yeah, because I was wrestling it. It was the very first time I ever wrestled in front of a crowd.
Okay.
It's in Chicopee, Massachusetts for NEFW. I was wrestling Mark Sherman in a triple a two. It, we were told it was a triple threat match, so we figured the match to have triple threat rules. So we're thinking it's us, Mark Sherman, and we're all fighting each other. And like right as we go through the curtain, they're like a 2-on-1 handicap match. And it's like, well, now we can't beat each other up because now we're on a team all of a sudden. But when we were calling the match, and right before we're about to go through the curtain because we're next,
Yeah.
I take my mask and I put my mask on. This is when I was still doing the Arrowside gimmick. And Mark Sherman's manager's like, you can't wear that mask because I wear a mask.
Okay.
So because he wears a mask as a manager, I wasn't allowed to wear my mask that night. So it's like one of the only times I ever wrestled without a mask. And I got booed out of the building by the crowd because it was chubby. As my girlfriend walked by booing me.
and, and I, for some of the wrestlers I talked to, there is a back meaning to the mask. Do you have a meaning for your mask?
Oh, absolutely. I actually had this. So I've had kind of like the similar design for pretty much most of my career, right? It's kind of like the. Hold on here. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
Use Philip here to block my vision, so I can show you. But on the sides here, I've always had this design.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like the 5. So you guys see it's got like the little 5 points. They come. This is tricky. So it's always been this design, and it was done intentionally because, again, like you were saying, like everybody they have meaning behind their masks. So I wanted meaning in mine. I was trained by Amazing Red, and Amazing Red's taunt was always this. So I took this
Mhm.
and I put it on the mask. So
Okay.
these, the 5 points logos on the side of my mask, those are supposed to represent Red's hands. So it's
Okay.
the man who basically molded me into the wrestler I am today.
Okay.
I had him a little piece of his, handprint there with me.
Nice.
And then all my masks have, different kind of the different colors have different meanings. I
Yeah.
have one that's more can I fill up? I have one that's more it's got chains and barbed wire, so it's supposed to look more like the movie Hellraiser, because I'm a huge
Oh yeah.
horror movie nerd. This one here is a little bit more Toxic Avenger, which is
Mhm.
like my all-time favorite movie, the original Toxic Avenger movies.
Okay.
You know, I had one with purple and green. It was supposed to be Joker inspired. So I always had like a lot of inspiration behind my masks.
Mhm.
And I love Easter eggs. So I like to throw in little things like that. Like the whole 5 point low design or something on the mask. Nobody knew it was supposed to be Red's hands.
Yeah.
Not even Red. I think I told him maybe a couple years ago. I'm like, you realize what the mask is supposed to represent, right? He goes, no. I had to explain it to him. He goes, I never put that together. Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to look. It's the 5 points were supposed to represent like Red's, hands, kind of helping mold me and guide me along the way.
That's been cool. That's cool. That is cool. So, do you like to play a heel or a baby face?
It depends. Uh, I guess the good part of having so many different personalities in your head, you never know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some days some places I'm the nice guy, and some places I got to be the jerk of the night.
Okay.
So it depends on which personality pops out that night.
Yeah. So you, earlier you said that you had a dark match at AEW.
I
How
did.
how is that?
Oh, that was incredible. It was crazy because that whole I guess time period was wild because I had the dark match at AEW,
Yeah.
which if I remember correctly, it was November 11th. Yes, yeah, I believe it's November 11th, and then I think it was like a week, 2 weeks before that,
Mm-hmm.
I was wrestling in Manhattan for New Japan.
Oh wow.
So like it was like the craziest like 2 3 weeks ever. It was like I went and wrestled for New Japan. It was a 4-way dance. It was myself, Montekia, uh, Mascarada Dorado,
Okay.
and Speedwall Mike Bailey.
Ooh wow.
And it was like it's got to be one of my favorite matches of all time.
That is. Yeah.
It's it was such a wild match. We were all like just it was all over the place, and even like Brian Alvarez
Yeah.
like put over the match and how good it was, and like it's like where's Smiley been this entire time? This man got over. He was awesome, and I'm like, this is nuts. And it's funny because you go from that experience where we had, I think, like 8 9 minutes to do our match,
yeah.
and really got to like give ourselves to the match. And then I do the AEW match a couple weeks later, and it's of course the dark matches, so they're very very short matches.
Yeah.
And the matches before us went long, so they're like, yeah, you guys only have like 3 minutes now.
Oh wow.
So we're like, oh, okay, or 3 or 4 minutes, I think it was. And it's like, so what do we do now? They're like, we just cut out all your stuff. It's like, oh, okay, like sure. So it was crazy because it was like, it was such a cool environment to be around, and like, I know so many of the people on the AEW roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've wrestled so many of them, like Santana, Ortiz, Tony Nese, of course Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy. I wrestled the Young Bucks before, and they remembered who I was.
Wow.
Because at the time they were still under suspension, but they were there, So,
Oh yeah.
they were there, kind of getting ready because it was, I think, shortly after that is when they made their return and everything like that. So they were getting ring rust off, And it's like it was just crazy. Like I wrestled Stokely Hathaway before. Like it's just like crazy because like I knew almost everybody there, so it felt very like at home. But like at the same time, I'm turning around looking down the hallway, and you got like Daniel Bryan
Yeah.
and John Moxley, and there's Big Show just standing there and towering over you. It's like this is nuts.
That, wow. So do you still keep in contact with your like friends?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Oh, so is there any possibility that you might get signed by the big companies like AEW or TNA or maybe
Ah,
W?
man, I hope so. Um, it's funny because like people will ask me like, "Oh, you want to get signed and become this big famous wrestler and stuff like that?" And it's like I want to become signed so I can pay the bills with what I love. You know, like unfortunately, I don't have that kind of schedule right now, so I still got to pay a 9 to 5 and go, work in a warehouse,
Yeah.
and then wrestle on the weekends. I don't have that name that's big enough, I guess, to get booked every weekend and pay the bills with wrestling, which that's the dream. Like I don't care about being famous, popular. I mean, I wear a mask.
Yeah.
Like if I take the mask off, nobody knows who I am. So it's like I don't care about being famous, obviously. But like for me, like the best part of wrestling and what we do is making these connections with people
Yeah.
and like kind of like changing people's lives, even if it's just for a day.
Yeah.
If I'm able to like show up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I go wrestle, like last weekend I wrestled Chico Suave in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we were doing the most ridiculous spots in the world. I put my thumb to his bum, and then put that same thumb in his mouth and kind of gave him a mandible claw, and it's like, this is ridiculous. But you look into the crowd and you see all these like, people laughing and they're having fun, and they're just like forgetting about the real world for like that 7-8 minutes that we were in the ring.
Yeah.
That something like that's priceless. And like I do that at Three Legacies in front of a few hundred people. It's amazing. But what if I could do that on TV? And I could be broadcast all over the world, and I could just take somebody's bad day away from them. Like that's what I love doing. Is like I love using wrestling to help other people. Like wrestling helped me more than I can ever like thank it. Like there's always like that phrase that pro wrestling doesn't owe you anything. But for me, like I owe wrestling everything because like I've been through my dark times when I thought that it was the end. Wrestling pulled me out of it. I've been down in the dumps and just feel like a failure and like I'm a blip on the radar and nobody gives a crap about me. But then I go out through the curtain and I got 200 people screaming out for Smiley and cheering me on because they love what I can do and what I do for them and how I make them feel. Like those are moments that like they're priceless moments. You know what I mean? Like you can pay me $1 billion, it's not going to be enough because like it would not compare. I should say it's not going to compare to the feeling of getting that reception. You know what I mean? It's wrestling is such a special thing, and wrestling is more than just wrestling. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like to say it all the time. Like pro wrestling is not about power bombs and pile drivers. It's about changing lives and making memories. I to this day, one of my most vivid memories from when I was younger was running into my grandparents' living room and seeing my uncle sitting in the recliners watching Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, wow.
And in the ring was Demolition. These 3 big dudes, leathers and spikes, like, what the hell is this? And then all of a sudden you hear the, ooh, what a rush. And out comes Hawk and Animal with bigger shoulder pads, with bigger spikes, face painted, looking like jacked up, like superheroes. And my eyes just widened, my jaw dropped, and I'm like, I need to sit and watch this. And then who comes after them? The Ultimate Warrior. Bright colored, running 1,000,000 miles an hour. Guy looks like he's like, insane. I'm like, this is nuts. What is going on? And like, from that moment, as soon as I saw that, I plopped my butt down between the two of them on the floor. My brother Joe was with me. He was about 1. I was about 5, 4 or 5. Yeah. Because this was roughly around 95, I think it was.
Okay.
And like, but I just sat there enamored, and we watched the rest of the show with him, and even the match after. I remember the match after was Dusty Rhodes versus Randy Savage.
Okay.
It's like,
Wow.
Dusty Rhodes, charismatic as can be.
Oh yeah.
Like, this, I don't know like what's going on, but I know this man's got me captivated. He's
Yep.
dancing around, he's strutting, he's doing his thing, he's confident. And for me, like, one of my things is I've always been a big boy. Like,
Mhm.
I've always been chubby, I've always been fat, like however you want to phrase it. I've always been husky. I've always been a big kid. I'm watching Dusty Rhodes with all the confidence in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like, nothing could knock this man off his
Oh yeah.
pedestal right now. But he's a big boy. And he's strutting, he's dancing, and Macho Man's right across the ring from him. This man's in shape. He looks like, his physique is wild. He
Yeah.
don't care. I'm Dusty Rhodes, baby. And he's strutting and he's moving. And it's just like something like that. Like something like that calls to me. Watching Mikey Whipwreck
Mhm.
get the tar beat out of him left and right in ECW. But does he give up? Nope, he's on the next show. He's on the next week. Something like that calls to me. And those are memories that live with me forever. And like that's what I want to do is I want to give that to other people. And the way I can do that to the biggest scale is if I could get to a WWE, an AEW. You know what I mean? I just want to make a living. I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to buy my mom a house. I've always said that. I want to make
Mhm.
enough money to buy my mama a house because my mama always took care of me. It's my turn to take care of mama.
Yeah.
I want to make enough money to buy mama a house, make enough money to provide for me and my family so we live happy.
Of course.
Anything after that, it's all, icing on the cake.
So you have a regular job. So how is it hard to balance a regular job and be a professional wrestler at the same time?
Oh my God. At times it feels impossible because it's having to juggle a real job. You got to do the 9 to 5, which means I'm waking up every morning at 5 in the morning.
Oh
I'm
God.
going to work. I'm working in the warehouse, lifting, hundreds to thousands of pounds every day.
Mhm.
I'm throwing breadcrumbs around and stuff like that. And then by the time that's done, as wrestlers, we have to get to training. We're supposed
Mhm.
to get to the gym.
Yeah.
But like, I also have my son at home. I have
Oh
my
yeah.
girlfriend at home. So sometimes it's like I don't get that chance to go out and train like I need to or go to the gym like I want to because I'm needed at home. So then I come home, I have to take care of the household and whatever's needed of me. There's a lot of responsibilities and like sometimes juggling it all at the same time, it just feels impossible.
Yeah.
But you make do with what you can. We balance it the best we can with the understanding that it's never going to be a perfect balance.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We're never going to have that perfect balance, and I'm never going to be in like that perfect situation. Maybe until I do get the nice big contract
Yeah. Of
where I
course.
can focus on strictly wrestling, and I don't have to worry about going to wake up at 5 in the morning, go work at a warehouse all night. You know, come home, sit down in my computer chair, and start drooling on myself because I'm half asleep at like 8 o'clock at night.
Of course.
While my son's jumping up in my lap because he wants to play. It's like it's ugly. It's a wild balance for sure. Like
Oh yeah. It sounds like it. It sounds like a wall, but it sounds like you love it.
you gotta love it. I don't understand how like the people who don't love wrestling still deal with it. It's like you don't love this man. Like I don't know how you're still in it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have to like eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. Like my girlfriend will give me crap sometimes because like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, just jump up and like grab my phone and open up the notepad because I got an idea that I just need to write down at that moment. And she's sitting there slapping me away. Go back to bed. I can't forget this idea. But it's things like that, man. You eat, sleep, breathe this. But like I said, like wrestling doesn't owe me anything. If I stop wrestling tonight, they'll move on with somebody new tomorrow. But like for me, it's like I want to give back as much as I can to wrestling because wrestling saved my life. Wrestling made such an impact on me that it created memories that I have with my uncles and I still remember them tormenting me with live shows because they would tell me that Yokozuna was gonna come steal children out of the crowd and eat them before his match with the Undertaker, and like all this crazy stuff, man. But these are like things that live with me forever. Like it's wild, but like
It
it's
is.
all from wrestling. I met my girlfriend through wrestling. You know, to
Oh,
give
really?
even more, like we met at a live event in a baseball field, which it's like a serendipitous moment because I was offered the spot on the match, but I turned it down
Like a,
because I had my high school reunion, the 10-year high school reunion.
uh,
So I turned down the match because I thought I was going to go home. Then my friends back home are telling me, nobody's going to that thing. It's kind of a wash. We're all just going to go to a bar or something, get drunk, whatever. I don't drink, so that didn't really appeal to me.
yeah.
So I call up the promoter. I went, hey, my plans fell through. Do you still have that opening? And somehow one of the guys did that night. He bailed out on the show because he was hurt or something.
Wow.
So I got his spot. And that was the night that me and her met, So she does tell a different story where we met once before that one, I believe. As she peers around the corner at me, where apparently one of the wrestlers, wrestled towards my merch table, swiped all my stuff on the ground. So she picked it up for me. And then at the end of the night, I went and collected my merchandise. And she told me, like, oh, these guys, like, threw your stuff on the floor, but I picked it up for you. And I'm a very shy, bashful man, so I just nod and smile, walked away, and all of a sudden, she just yells out from behind me, asshole! So that was our first interaction. That's great.
Oh, wow. So, but she knows what you look like under the mask, right?
Yeah. So, like, it's one of the things, like, without wrestling, we may have never met. It's crazy. Like,
That is
wrestling's giving me everything. And now we have a child together because of that.
And what would you think to your child when he grows up and goes, hey, Dad, I want to get into professional wrestling?
I don't know. Like, I always chuckle because I hear so many people like, oh, I would never let my child be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to be a wrestler? Be a wrestler. You want to be an astronaut? Be an astronaut. I don't give a damn what you want to be. You want to be a bank thief? Be a bank thief. Like, I don't care. Like, to me, it's like, I just want him to be happy. Like, I don't care what he does as long as he's happy. If wrestling makes him happy, do it. It's given me so much. Like, it's so rewarding what we do. Yeah, I can't tell him no because it's like I love it so much. Why would I tell him he can't do something that something that I love, that he loves,
Yeah, that is true. That is true. The last question is: if you could put 5 wrestlers in the independent scene right now on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, who would you put up there?
Ooh, five indie wrestlers right now on a Mount Rushmore. I mean, I gotta give Amazing Red one of the spots.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's the greatest. I mean, that's that, and that's just in general. Like, even like you think of the people that he's influenced,
Oh, yeah.
Will Ospreays and all these other people. It's crazy. On the scene right now, I wanted to say Sumi Sakai, but she technically retired a couple years ago. But Sumi Sakai is like one of my all-time favorite people, man. Like, it's funny. There's a match with me and TJ Crawford where I did some move to the outside, and I'm supposed to be the bad guy, so I'm mean mugging it. And I turn around and I look, and Sumi Sakai is just sitting in the front row, smiling up a storm. And as soon as I turn, I got a big old smile, like, Sumi's here. Oh, I'm the bad guy. Like, Sumi's forever one of my favorite human beings. I love her. Damn, that's a tricky one. Because it's like so many of them have gotten picked up by AEW and
or you can put any of them that got picked up by AEW or WWE also.
All right. I mean, Red's got to be one.
Yeah.
Kevin Steen's got to be like an indie,
Mount
Rushmore guy.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
I mean, if you're throwing in Steen, you got to throw in Generico. Those two are thick as thieves.
Sami Zayn.
Oh my god. I cannot count how many times I watched Sami Zayn matches. This was a personal, maybe more biased because he's one of my all-time favorites myself. Delirious,
Ooh.
because you got to figure the in-ring abilities is
Oh
second
yeah.
to none. The character is so flushed out, so unique,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, think of all the people he's trained. Because remember, he was a trainer at ROH for the longest. You know, he
Yeah, he
brought up
was.
like people like Cheeseburger and them,
Yeah.
and so Delirious has definitely got to be one
Yeah.
of the guys on the list. What do we got? One more.
Yeah.
I'll throw a lady in there. I'm gonna throw a lady in for my fifth one,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with Lufisto
Okay.
because Lufisto, man, she fought for women. Like she fought for the women to get the rights to be able to wrestle like they can. Like I don't think without Lufisto going toe to toe with like athletic commissions and everything else that you would get all these intergender matches, or you get like the Maki Ito versus Nick Gage kind of matches. You know, you wouldn't get this kind of stuff because like back then, like it was so frowned upon. But like Lufisto, man, she just fought for all of that. You
Really?
know, so Lufisto's got a wild story, and I hope one day she she can do a documentary or something, just tell her story. Because like if you watch shoot interviews with her, it's insane. Like just some of the stuff that she went through. You know,
Man, I would like interview her.
she. I wouldn't put it past her to do an interview. Like if you reached out to her, I wouldn't put it past her. She's long retired from wrestling, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
Like that's one of the ones like I always wish I could have wrestled. You know, I would have loved to have wrestled Lufisto. Like as far as like female wrestlers go, like some of my favorites is like it's Bull Nakano will always be number one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Bull Nakano, Asuka, Lufisto, uh goodness, Alondra Blaze is of course one of them. Like these are the women that like I grew up like these women fought. You know what I mean? They didn't wrestle, like they fought people. Like
Oh yeah. Just like China.
China's another one. She had to fight for everything. You know.
Yeah. So, well, but yeah,
If I can give it a couple of honorable mentions,
yeah. Go ahead.
just personal favorites of mine, and
Okay.
I don't think they get enough love. Was like Scott Lost
Okay.
and Chris Bosch. Like if you go back and you watch some of like the Scott Lost and Chris Bosch stuff from like PWG,
Mm-hmm.
like these guys were coming up with like they were just absolute wild innovators. Like I say it all the time, like my biggest influences in professional wrestling, like that created kind of like my style in theory, was always Amazing Red, Chris Canyon, Nova from ECW,
Ooh,
and
okay.
then Scott Lost and Chris Bosch. Because like they're just coming up, like all those guys are just such incredible innovators. Like they would come up with the like every time I watch a Chris Canyon match, he does something new and unique.
Yeah.
And now, if you watch modern day wrestling, these people are just doing the same thing that he came up with years ago. Yeah? Like I got to be there for Nova's very final match.
Oh
Like I
wow.
was in the Battle Royal at the opening of the show, but it was just such a like incredible experience to watch him wrestle for one last time and then get to meet him in the back. And I would tell him, I'm like, man, like I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple of the things you used to do that I do to this day. And he kind of told me, he's like, they're all yours, brother. Like I'm not doing them anymore. He goes, so if you want them, they're yours. You know, he kind of gave me the okay to use some of his stuff, and that's just the insane, vote of confidence, I guess.
All right. I do have one more question though.
Yep.
In wrestling, like you mentioned, do you have to ask a person to use their move if you
No,
want?
I mean, not really. Like, I cannot count how many people have stolen my stuff.
Uh,
Like, from from WWE, AEW, indie scene, like it's all over the place. One of my favorites is and it's like nobody asked me if they could use my. Well, very few. Like, there's a couple of guys that reach out, like, "Hey, man, I saw you do this. I kind of want to use that." And of course, like, yeah, go for it. Like, have at it. Like, for me, it's like use whatever move you want, but if somebody asks you about it, just don't try and lay claim to it. You know, like my finisher, I call it the dementia driver, where in my mind I thought I had come up with it because I had converted a submission hold called the lightning lock, and I tried to convert it into like a driver.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like I've never seen anybody else do this. This is kind of unique and different. Cool. This is my finisher now. And then somebody pointed out Spiral BKMY does something similar, but his was more sideways, and I'm like, it's still different enough. But then I see like old clips of like Ruckus, who is another one of my, you know what, maybe Ruckus should have been on that Mount Rushmore right there too. So now I'm gonna come up with all sorts of them, like Ruckus, Alex Shelley, Chris Aiden, like these guys should have all been up there. Can't limit it to 5, you're killing me. But but Ruckus would do same move that I do, but in the same way, sit down with it through the legs and everything. And I went, okay. Like I had a moment, I guess in comedy they call it parallel thinking, where you thought the same thing as somebody else. So it's not technically stealing it. It's just I thought the same way he thought.
Yeah.
But like if anybody asks me about that move, like I tell them, like, oh yeah, I thought I came up with it. It's actually Ruckus's move. You know, I always give credit where credit's due. You know, to me, it's just the respectful thing to do. You know what I mean? Like it happens. Parallel thinking. Shit happens. You know, maybe you've seen it and you didn't remember seeing it, but you did. Like,
yeah,
I remember going to like my dad's funeral, and like halfway to the funeral, my phone starts going bananas, and everyone's texting me. And I look at the phone, and everyone's hitting me up, sending me clips and stuff because Leo Rush did a sit down bottom rope stunner, which is a move that I was doing for years before that, and even to the point of like there's footage of us doing a match together. And he's on the side of the ring watching as I hit that same move on Jorge Sante. So it's like, I don't know if he just didn't realize he did the same move that he saw me do. But like, you know, it happens. Like people are gonna say stuff like I just think if I have the opportunity to, I'm going to ask permission, or I will talk to the person about it. You know, in some cases you don't have that opportunity. I'm not gonna be able to talk to Canyon unless I go buy me a Ouija board. You know. I can't ask Canyon about using some of his stuff, but Nova was there, so I asked permission. You know, Amazing Red is my trainer, so like I'll throw in maybe 1 or 2 of his little moves every now and then as like a little homage.
Yeah,
so little things like that.
Well, I had a blast talking with you today. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having me on.
And I hope we can do it again.
Yeah, man, anytime.
And I just want to say thank you one more time for doing this. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me again. Sorry it took me so long to get on.
No. It's all right. You're a busy guy, so I totally understand. But you have a good night.
You too, man. Thank you again.
You too. Thank you.